Hi, and welcome to Coach Basics Day 3. Today I am going to be talking to you about time management. And I'm sure you are all kind of wondering how you are going to be able to fit everything that you need to do for your coaching business in when you already work a full-time job, or you have a family with kids or fur babies or family obligations or social obligations, or like me, you're a traveler, so you are not available a lot. So what I'm going to do today is I am actually going to share with you 3 different things. I'm going to tell you what a typical day looks like for me. I'm going to share what applications I use to help with my productivity. And the third thing is I'm just going to tell you about some tips that I have for you that I figured out the hard way. So what a typical day looks like. First thing I'll do is I'm actually going to start in the evenings. In the evenings, I typically like to spend about half an hour, 45 minutes on Facebook. First thing I do when I log into Facebook is I check into my challenge groups. I see how they're doing. I see if anything, needs to be monitored, if I need to offer advice, if I need to comment on somebody's progress, provide motivation, things like that. The other thing I do is I also check and make sure everyone is participating. If they're not participating, I might shoot them a message, or I might actually call them out in a comment or something like that, just to see if that will get them involved in the group. If that doesn't happen, I will call or text or all of the above that particular person to make sure that everything's okay and to see what I can do to help them out, or if I can be a better support to them. The next thing I will do after I've checked in with my groups is I will look at all of the posts that I made throughout the day, both on my personal page and on my like page, and I will see which posts did the best, which ones attracted the most attention and which ones attracted the most comments. And I will kind of make a log of that, and that's part of my master list tracking. And we talked about our master list as being the people that we reach out to and the people that we think we are able to help. It's pretty much anybody and everybody you know. Then what I will do is on those posts, I will see if there were any new interactions, if somebody liked a post, if somebody made a comment about wanting to, get in better shape, or said something about, how I was motivating or inspirational. That's always a good indicator that, they may be interested in potentially doing the business. They may be interested in receiving some of that encouragement or motivation more on a one-on-one basis or in a group setting. So it's always a good time to monitor those things. It's always a good choice to monitor those things and add those names to your master list so you can start including them in your follow-ups. The next thing I will do is I will respond to any messages throughout the day that I haven't already responded to. It's important to prioritize what you're working on. So if it's something that doesn't need to be responded to when you first get the message, then don't respond to it till later. Part of being successful in this business is having good boundaries. Just with any job, you can't devote 100% of your time to anything. You have to have time for yourself, you have to have time for your family, and for those things that are important to you. So respond to your messages, send follow-up messages, or, forming, which we'll talk about a little bit later, but you send messages to people during this time. Typically, half hour, 45 minutes. The last thing I will do before I go to bed is I will actually pull up several different tabs, so a tab for each challenge group or group page that I have, and I will get my post ready for the next morning. So when I wake up, all I have to do is click on post, which makes things really, really easy for me in the mornings. Now, the morning time. Typically what I do is I get up about 15 minutes earlier than I used to. So if you have a family, if you have kids, it's getting up 15 minutes, sometimes a half an hour before the kids, so the house is quiet so you can focus on what you need to focus on. Sleep is a luxury, and I will admit I go to bed early. So I don't like waking up early either. So in the mornings, I like things to be as easy as possible. Wake up, open up my computer, click post on my challenge groups and on my like page or my status if I post something motivational, whatever it may be. And then I quickly browse through my notifications through the evening, If I have time, I will return a couple of messages or respond to those posts. Otherwise, within 15 minutes, I hopefully have finished my E&E and I am ready to push play and work out. Now, throughout the day, if I have a chance, I will respond to Facebook comments or like posts in my challenge group, things like that. But let's admit it, we can't spend our life on Facebook, and who really wants to do that? You know, and Twitter, same thing. Can't really spend all your life, you know, going on Twitter and liking and retweeting and Instagram, favoriting and commenting. So during the day I have time, or if I need a break at work, I might do something. Otherwise, what I do is I always have it in my head, and I always have it written down, who I'm working with on my master list. I know who it's important to talk to. Who are my new coaches going to be? Who am I working with to be new coaches? Who are people that I am working with to potentially buy challenge packs? Who am I trying to kind of get into the whole Beachbody coaching type thing, you know, like glimpsing? Things like that. So if those people message me or those people comment on something during the day, I will typically respond right away or as soon as I'm able. Otherwise, like I said, I wait and I make it at the end of the night. So then the last thing I'll talk about is on Sunday. On Sundays, I try and make sure I have all of my posts organized for the week ahead because I want to spend, honestly, as little time in the evenings as I have to on Facebook. I want to be able to enjoy my evenings. So on Sundays, I will make sure that I have every day's challenge group posts ready. I will have posts that I want to particularly do to Facebook. So if that's introducing a new program, putting out a marketing thing, doing a new group invite, boosting a group, things like that, I will write down on Sunday which day of the week I want to do that and at what time of the day do I want to do that. The next thing I'm going to talk to you is about the applications that I use to help make my life easier. So the first thing that I use is Google Drive. This way I can access anything that I need anywhere. I can access it on my phone, on my iPad, on a tablet, on my computer. I can be at work. I can be on anybody's computer and access any of my images or any of my notes, things like that. So I actually have a marketing file on Google Drive that I save all of my images to. Another application that I use that really helps me with productivity is Evernote. Evernote actually lets you organize all these things by tags and by notebooks and notes and things like that. So I actually have challenge group posts. I have 3 or 4 different posts for every day of my challenge groups already made up. So there is no thought process involved. I have a day 1 through day 21, sometimes through day 30 posts that I like to do for my challenge groups. So that's really easy. I also have all of the images uploaded into Evernote as well. Other good applications, I recommend Hootsuite or Buffer. They are applications that where you can schedule your posts to your Facebook page, to Twitter, to Instagram, and things like that. All right, last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to you about some tips that I learned the hard way when I first started out with the business. You start with different groups. Team Motivate is our upline. Team Inspire is Sarah's team, so that's our upline. And then my groups that I am actually leading at this point in time. My other groups are down here, but I always want to have them accessed in my, you'll see right here is your favorites section. So let's say May Rock the Basics, that's the group we're in. I want to add that to my favorites. I click on the gear there to the left. It's just a left mouse click, add to favorites. Boom, it's right there. I want to remove, I can remove it from favorites. The other thing is, if I want to rearrange, I can click rearrange and I can move these up or down depending on how I want to have them posted. So, pretty easy stuff. The next thing I want to do is I want to talk to you about on your like page. So this is my like page. Eventually we'll get to the point where you guys are creating your own like page, and honestly, start creating it now. Get some feedback from us before you invite people to like it so we can tell you whether or not it's going to work. We will give you some tips on that when we talk about our social media. If you look on your statuses, you will look that you have over here on where it says post, you have a drop down arrow. This is when you can actually schedule your posts. So you can sit there and you can schedule this a whole month in advance. You can schedule it for a specific time as well, and Facebook will automatically post this. So any post that you do, pictures, images, sharing events, things like that, you can schedule ahead of time on Facebook, which is really, really, really helpful. So I really hope that you found this video interesting. If you have questions, please comment below. Thanks, and have a great rest of your day.